business partners or teams or whatever. She's got a bunch of them, but I knew going in I wasn't going to know anybody. It's like, but the plus side of that is there's always opportunity to make friends, and if you make friends, you never know if you're going to get a chance to talk business. And and then this morning, and we did meet some great people last night, and then this morning, our pastor is just incredible. He's always looking for an opportunity, when you're leaving the service and he's out there shaking hands with everybody. Number one, he won't let us sneak out. That's one. Okay. You can't just kind of try and get around him. But number two, he's always looking for opportunities to introduce us to other members that might be a good fit for the products of the business. And I'm so grateful for that, because he's just so good about it. And, if you know anything about church or church politics, you can't have a pastor in one network marketing company, because there'll be 50 different companies sitting in the audience. And if he's with one, then he alienates everybody else. Okay. So what he can do is introduce you to people. Okay. And he always does that. And I love him for it. He's just a good guy. But let's see, what are we going to start with? There will not be a Zoom next week. Okay, so write that one down. Sunday is Christmas Eve. Monday is Christmas. There will not be one. But should the company decide to do a promotion after the 25th, which is, when the subscriptions go out, that's the fifth day of the month for subscriptions. If they decide to do something between, say, the 26th and the end of the month, we may text you to hop on a Zoom quick, or if it's easy to just text the information and post it on Facebook, we'll do that, because they're going to email it and post it anyway. But if it's something we feel we really should talk about, we're not traveling, April and I will be around, so we'll have a Zoom if we need to do it. Okay. Let me go to some slides here, because April's got a training for you too. So I want to get what I got to do out of the way so she can do her thing. Oh, who's that guy? I've seen him before. Oh, that's Fred. Hey, folks, look, this week, a lot of people are going to be busy with shopping. They're going to be busy with visiting and parties and office parties and all kinds of stuff. Let's show support for Fred. Okay. And, I asked you a couple weeks ago to be supportive when April was on, but there's a full schedule this week of meetings that Carrie and Tara are doing. Okay. That have been Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Fred, who's a regular here, is going to be doing one of those meetings on Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern. And, you can change that time to match wherever you are. But at 8 o'clock Eastern, Fred will be the guest speaker and host and presenting the meeting. So let's show our support. Okay. Sound okay with everybody? We definitely want to be supportive of each other. So let me go to the next one. Okay. December is off to a great start. And April and I've always said, December should be the best month of the year for business. Okay. And I just want to tell you what's going on with our business. Okay. So with our team, our business, our organization, we have the best organizational volume right now on the 17th day. Now we monitor it every day. Like we compare the first of the month to last month. The 2nd of December to the 2nd of November. We go and compare days. This is the best volume month on the 17th day of the month since October of 2019, over 4 years before the pandemic. I'll give you some numbers when we close out December, and I'm going to talk about it in a minute. But one thing our mentors in our previous company always taught us, the only problem was the company was privately owned and we couldn't get figures out of them or volume. They always just, I don't know, I don't want to say lied about it. They just weren't clear about it. You could never get exact numbers out of monthly and yearly volume other than what your team did. We could never get, that's why a lot of the leaders got together in the later years in that company. There were 3 legs off the company, and we knew if we all talked to each other and shared numbers, then we know what the overall volume was. So we started doing that near the end. But I want you to realize that's over 4 years. It's the best for the 17th day. And I don't know about you folks, but we got a really nice bump from the skincare sale, the buy one, get one. And I don't remember them ever doing a buy one, get one, okay, before. Maybe they did. I don't remember it. But the value for the TrueScience skincare with buying one and getting one was amazing. And we got a big bump in volume with that. You know what was real interesting, though? The volume came from the people that were in the business, either as customers or consultants, before the collagen came out. Really interesting when you think about it. And I analyze things like this all the time. Because of the collagen and all the new people that come in since, the collagen has been so remarkable, they didn't know about how great the skincare was before that. So it was really interesting, okay? But anyway, more about that as the month closes out. We mentioned this for the last couple of weeks, but you should have the January 13th mark now on your calendar. It's only 4 weeks away now, okay? It's close. It's less than a month. And that's our virtual launch, okay, corporate for 2024. And the one thing that we need to be making a decision on, and when I say we, I mean each one of us, okay, what are we going to do? Are we going to attend a big event like down here in the Southeast? A lot of us are going to Jekyll Island. Brandon Cunningham put that together, and a lot of us are going to do that, okay? But if you're not going to plug into a big event somewhere, are you attending someone's watch party? Okay, that's the second best option. The first option is attend a big live event where you got virtual and live going on at the same time. But second, are you attending someone's watch party? Third, if you're not attending someone's, are you hosting one? And you can host a watch party for 3 people, 2 people. It could be you and a couple guests, okay? And that's a watch party. And you got the QR code to register with the company. But the thing we're all trying to achieve is that nobody watches alone. You're either going somewhere to watch or you're having folks over to watch. Going or people are coming. It's one or the other. And we really want everybody to be responsible for a few guests. If we get, I'm just going to make up a number here, if we get 5,000 distributors or 10,000 distributors, consultants now we're calling it, okay? But if we get 5,000 and everybody gets 2 guests to watch, okay, that's 15,000. Okay, that's how you move the bar. That's how you move the barometer. So we need to be and again, I know it's 4 weeks out, and when you're dealing with a guest or a prospect, a lot of that comes into play maybe the week before or 2 weeks before. Okay, it doesn't always, be kind of hard to invite a guest 4 weeks out if you haven't even talked to them about the product or business to begin with. Okay, so just keep that in mind. But anyway, this is just a reminder. This is the QR code, okay? So you can let the company know. And this is in our group, okay? It's in the Facebook group that, that we have. Okay, but it's time, folks, to be thinking about goals. Okay, and we will do a number of goal-setting trainings come January, tying it in with New Year's and stuff. But again, I'm just looking to jog your memory a little bit here, okay? Number one goal that should be hot and heavy right now is to close out December and make it your best month ever. Okay, best month of the year, certainly, and hopefully best month ever. So you want to be setting your goal for your gem rank. Okay, and I know a lot of the markets, I know Canada and Europe, some of them are just getting into it and stuff, but 28 healthy glow stacks equals, a diamond. And a diamond is where you max out the gemstone bonus. Okay. So everybody's goal for 2024, if you're not already a diamond, should be to be a diamond. And if you are already a diamond, it should be to become a double diamond. Okay. So that way we're all on the same page doing the same thing each day and each week. But here's something that our mentors always mentioned, but we had trouble, like I said earlier, getting a straight answer. How was your volume for this year? Okay. Did you grow faster or slower than corporate? Now, here's what I mean. Okay. We know exactly what the sales volume is for corporate. The financials are online. We're publicly traded. There's no secrets here. Okay. So our company's financials say we increased yearly from 2022 to 2023. We went up by 3%. Okay. We went from 206 million in sales in 2022 to 213 million this year. So it was like 3.2%. I'm just rounding it off. So here's what our mentors always told us. Did your business grow faster or slower than the average of the whole company? See, the company grew 3%. They added $6 to $7 million in sales from one year to the next. So did your business grow by 3%? Did it go down or did it go up more than 3%? Okay, that's something that you should be looking at every year. Okay, just look, and this is all in your back office. You can get your pay statements, your PDF. It says what your volume is. I keep it all on an Excel sheet, and it's a running tally for me. But we should be doing this. I'm talking about it now because it's end of year, and we're going to be talking goals in January. But each quarter, when the company reports its sales volume and whether it went up or down as compared to the quarter before, the year before, the same quarter the year before, you should be doing that with your business. Now, again, if you're new, you should be focused on the gem rank and getting yourself to diamond and moving up through the ranks. But if you have a business that's 3, 4, 5 years old and it's a business and you're earning residual and everything, okay, these are good habits to get into because they tell you if you're getting ahead or if you're falling behind what most people in the company are doing. Okay. And when it's over, when the year's over, I'll disclose our numbers, but I can tell you this, our percentages are absolutely blowing away corporate. We are way, way, way up over 3%. Okay. And so that tells me that we just need to get our team doing more of what it's already doing, but it's already doing a lot of good stuff. Okay. So, but like I said, this is very easy to do if you want to look back because the numbers are there with LifeVantage because we're publicly traded and the numbers are there in your back office and no need to go back past 2022. It's irrelevant, especially the pandemic years where everything was just upside down. Okay. But anyway, these are some things that we monitor. And like, I would hate to think that the company as a whole, their increase was better than ours. Okay. We always want to be doing at least the increase that the company is doing, but obviously you want to grow faster and better, okay, than that. So that should always be part of your goal setting equation. But okay, if something else comes to mind, I'll bring it up after April, but April has great training for you. So I'm going to stop sharing and turn it over to April. So April, it's all yours.
Thanks. That was a lot of good information. And I like sharing. I'm going to share with you, what I find out about our business, as we go through things. Some things we know, some things we forget. This is probably a case where we forget more than we remember. But two things, came to mind as Bobby was talking. First off, I know you've all seen a lot of the Kerry's meetings and stuff, but unless you can do it, you need to be on there every night. There's valuable tips every time somebody else talks. So, not only supporting Fred, but growing your business. This business comes at so many different angles, and you always have to be prepared. And I know Fred put in the chat, what do we say? So you've heard us as we talk about our trainings. My main goal when I meet somebody is to get their phone number these days. That is my main goal. So if they ask what we do, I'll say we're in distribution, kind of a sciencey project, very cutting edge. And then I'll follow it up with getting their phone number by the end. And then I will send them the ABC video or something. Now that changes. If it's a woman and she's saying something about, oh, I think I need to go get Botox, or have you heard about that laser, or I just hate the way my face looks, I'm going to lead more with collagen, and I'm going to talk about collagen. But if it's just a random person we don't know, we need to get their phone number right away so that we can continue to drip on them. You've heard me time and time again. You can't close somebody at a party. You can't close them at a baseball game. You can't close them at the beach. You need to get their information. Other than those collagen cards, which I'll only, again, pull out if it's appropriate because we're talking collagen. But if I'm trying to get to know somebody, I don't want to throw up all over them. I want to get them to talk. So even this couple in line, just asked what he did for a living. And he let me know that he, was just kind of, what do they call it, eased out of his job. So he's got a severance package. I don't like the word fired, but, he no longer has a job. So then I said, are you going to be retired now? And he said, no, I still need to do something. So he let me know all these different things. And then it's simple, like, I really enjoyed talking with you a few minutes. I'd love to reconnect at some point. Do you mind giving me your phone number? I give them my phone right away to put their name and phone number in. And then right away I text them, hey, this is Bob and April. Love talking to you. Talk later or something, just so they know whose phone number that is when it gets back to them. So again, it's just these little things, getting to a point with somebody where you can get their phone number. And again, it's just conversations. How do you know the host? We went over this, we went to this party. I knew based on the guest list, because now if you look on Evite, it'll tell you who's invited to a party. And I looked on the guest list, only knew one other girl's name there. So it was kind of weird. It was a lot of her neighbors, not a lot of tennis people, but, Saturday night, it was like Friday night, Saturday, the parties are kind of adding up. And I wanted to go to this one because I knew we wouldn't know anybody there. And we were able to talk to these people, get to know them. But the easiest way to get somebody talking is, how do you know the host? Or, if it's in church line, how long have you been going to this church? We have never met before. And that's how that started, after the pastor. And he kind of introduced us because he's got all these people coming at him. He's trying to pair people up and stuff. So it's a great thing to hang around for us afterwards. But yeah, I've liked the word distribution lately because it leaves it open enough for people to not be able to make a judgment. If I say networking or wellness and health, they can make some judgments there. I just say distribution, which is true. We distribute products, use different names as you go along. But my whole thing is not to give them all the information and make a decision in that 5 minutes that we're talking. It's to keep the conversation going so that I can have the opportunity to continue to drip on them. Anytime Bobby and I have gotten anybody into our business, it's not a slam dunk. It's a relationship. We make sure they have enough information to be able to make the right decision. And I can't give them or guide them the right information if I don't know what they want. If I haven't talked to them enough to figure out what they want, I can't, it's not a one size fits all. So based on your conversation, you need to be prepared to go a few different ways, whether you're going to go business or you're going to go collagen or one of the products, but we're not out looking for sick people. So I don't want to kind of move the conversation to the point where somebody says I have arthritis or high blood pressure. I don't want sick people. Ultimately, I want people who want to build a business, but I will pick up, other stuff along the way. So just, as we were talking about that. So what I really wanted to share tonight was talking about our Facebook group, and I'm going to try to share some snapshots or screenshots that I did off of Lifespan Matters. Had another connection, and I think this is an area, well, I'm going to say for me, this is an area where I've slacked greatly. We did a lot on Lifespan Matters early on. I still continue to put some people in there. I post in there. But it just came true again. We had somebody reach out through there over the weekend that wanted a link, you know, and I was probably a day behind it looking. I know if you all get a link in the, or if somebody asking that I don't know, I usually go back to Facebook to try to figure out whose it is and let you know that you've got somebody in there. But it's such a valuable tool because this is a person that I haven't spoken to in over a year, person that falls through the cracks. She didn't have any buying signals, wasn't interested in the business, just kind of seemed like a dead end, but you know, nobody's ever a dead end. And this is where I say, we never get to a no. We continue to drip on people. And so she got to a point where she didn't like the way her face was looking. It was a collagen. She saw a collagen picture. There's a lot of them in there. And then all of a sudden she reached out and said, you know, I need a link. Give me a link. You know, it can't be any easier than that. But if you don't spend a little time putting people in the group, if you're going to post, do make sure that it's not a post. If you've taken it from another group, that's fine. But make sure you did enough looking to that it's not a post somebody else did. You know, like sometimes I'll see two people in the group. This is what used to happen. They'll steal a post from another group, but it's the same post. So, you know, just make sure it's not the same post twice. I mean, we all take stuff from other groups. That's totally fine. But it's such a great way to drip on. So I'm going to go through some of the ins and outs. I know a lot of this you may know. And let's hope this share is good. Okay. Slideshow. Okay, so you should be able to see that now. Okay, so this is a snapshot of, and I think this is probably, let's see. Okay, this is the first one. Okay, this is a snapshot of what Lifespan Matters. This is a group, a closed group, a private group on Facebook. And it's just full of testimonies. We have to keep those legal, so you can't say we cured cancer or anything, but you know, keep them somewhat legal. You see what's going on there, or some science about the products. And like I said, a lot of times we may have our own personal testimony, whether it's collagen or whatever it is, we can put that in there. But in order to get somebody into this group, if you're not familiar with how this is done, you need to be Facebook friends with them first. So what I would do is if I was talking to somebody, I would say, hey, any chance you're on Facebook? A lot of times you get a little bit of resistance. People don't want to admit they're on Facebook. I think people are just creepers. They want to just creep along and not admit it. And I'm just like, you just need to have a profile. I'm not asking you to post anything because there's a fear of posting. But if you connect with them on Facebook and they accept your friend request, so now that you're friends, you can invite them into this group, Lifespan Matters. So the easiest way is to the right there, there's a little tab that says invite. And that's what I've put here. I've highlighted it. Invite Facebook friends. It's the easiest way to do. Now, if you choose that method, you need to have them look in notifications that you sent them a notification to join the group. So there's a little bit of follow-up, but just think if you put them in this group today, they're in there forever. And they continue to see some things on and on and on. And then you never know, they may reach out and ask for a link. You can invite them with an email, that's fine too. Or you can invite them with a link if you're texting somebody. So those are the really, really easy ways to invite them to the group. There's a bunch of admins that allow people into the group that way, get them approved. We do that pretty quickly. Usually Bobby's the one, he's usually on it the fastest. So we get them involved in the group that way. So that's kind of the invite. Like I said, this is the easiest way to keep things. After you have somebody in the group, you can see I've highlighted this with some names here, and I started to write almost Bobby's name. Names will populate. If they're your friend and they're in the group, you've already invited them in the group, they've been accepted in the group, they're in the group. And let's say there's an article on hairdressers and your friend is a hairdresser and you want them to see this post in particular with a capital to start their name. You type their name and you'll see their photo and name will pop up. You click on it and now you've tagged them. That's the word they use. You've tagged them in this post so that they can see the post that you're seeing. This is a great way to do with people that you haven't talked to in a while. Maybe you had a conversation with them about Protandim and something. Maybe it was arthritis or something. Maybe it was something to do with some kind of disease, or maybe it's a specialty, like I said, a hairdresser or you know, whatever they might do. Maybe they play a sport that you play or whatever, you know, this is a great way to tag them in that so that they can, you know, see that article. The more people you have using these things, the more our people are going to be able to see these posts as well. So you want to do that. And then this is, if you see the red arrow up top, that is the name of our group. So, you know, Team Unity Wins. So anytime you want to get into a group, anybody's group, it's facebook.com/groups, which is plural, / and the name. When we originally started this group, it was called Team Unity Wins. So it has stayed with that. But if you go on the search bar and you put in Lifespan Matters, that will also come up either way if you're looking for the group yourself. But it's just a great group. If you are going to go, if let's say you have a meeting, you know, with a gym owner tomorrow, or you have a meeting with a physician or some specialty or massage therapist, whatever it is, you might have some specialty. If you want to look for information on that person and things that may pertain to them, because everything in our business is all about telling a story. So if you go back through the post, and there's actually a finder, a magnifying glass, you know, up to the top right there, or actually you can see it on the bottom here under invite. You can type in different things. You can type in hairdressers, type in anything, you know, skin conditions, whatever it is that might interest you. Get yourself familiar. You know, before I walk into any meeting, I always kind of figure out, you know, every different angle that they're going to ask me so that I will have a handle on it. I'll usually have a story to talk to that person about. You do not have to know the person personally. If there's enough of a story in there that you saw that, you know, Sally wrote up about this and that, you can say, you know, there's this lady, Sally, you know, and this is what happened to her. You're just sharing that story too. Our whole business is built on stories whenever you can go ahead and share stories. So again, just love this group as well. And so, oh, here, I wrote, you know, Bonnie Hill DePone, can you message me the info? It's that, you'll get that, or they'll go into, I had 3 of them over the course of this weekend, whether they DM me or they were an old friend that reached out. In fact, I think one of them tried to get Bobby because I was insufficient with getting back to on Instagram. So you get these leads from all over the place, and it really helps your business. But again, if you're not doing these little things, and like I said, I feel like a total slacker in this group. I've been posting more and more to get back to people, but you know, this is an easy tool, particularly as we go through the holidays and people are just scrolling, looking at pictures and stuff. They're already on Facebook. Just give them something valuable to look at that may be of more interest to them. So I just thought, you know, we've got such a valuable tool here. We've all got friends on Facebook. I know a lot of people are, you know, looking at certain people in our company and they're doing a lot of selling, you know, based on Facebook. The way that they're doing that is on Facebook groups. You know, they bring people into a group and they give them enough information. They continue to drip on them until the person just says, it's like all of us, you know, we all have these days where all of a sudden we get to a point where we know we need to make a change. We need to do something different. And so if you've got Facebook group, Lifespan Matters in front of them or any other group, you'll see that finally they'll be like, all right, I need a link. I need to do something today. So I just wanted to bring this back to our attention because it's always been such a valuable tool, but we haven't been using it as much as that. Some things about, do make sure you always check back for comments. You know, don't just post and leave. You know, you really have to do your work. You should be checking in this group every time. And the way that we can make this group just shine more is when somebody posts like this one, you know, 11 people just liked it and really no comments. The best thing we can do if you're going to be on there checking to see if any of your people got back is if you can write a comment and you can like it. So important. So not only do you get the information of the post, the testimony, the science that's being there, but you can help the group facilitate more and just grow bigger that way. I do want to mention no selling other than LifeVantage products, no personal selling of LifeVantage. It should just be a testimony of a product. There is no selling. Don't reach out to anybody that's not your person or whatever.
If you put someone in that group, that's your person and everybody can see that that's your person. Okay, so you don't have to, and I'll tell you, we have never had a problem with anybody trying to poach someone else's person. But if we did, we would stop it very, very quickly. Okay. They'd get banned from the group. They'd get blocked from all correspondence. It's never happened. Okay. And so if you put people in there, those are your people. Okay. And when they ask questions about like, how do I get this? We see that and we'll reach out to you and say, hey, your friend Mary Smith is asking about how do I get that hair stuff? Okay, you need to reach out to her. And there's a lot of people that are administrators on this that are doing that. So just feel safe with the group. We've never had a problem.
Yeah, I just say that, not that we've had a problem. I just say it so that we know the rules and everybody knows not
Yeah,
to
the
sell it.
selling,
Yeah.
this is not a place for self-promotion or selling of anything. This is just
Yeah.
a place where testimonies get posted, science gets posted, and we can tag people that might have an interest in that topic.
Yeah. So that's just a little bit on that. If you've got certain questions or whatever, you can reach out individually if you're not familiar with, even how to work this, but it's pretty simple to be able to get people in there, tag them and keep dripping on them, which is what I do. And I do hope as you go through these holidays, whether it be at a holiday parade or something, turn around and just say hi to somebody and try to make a new friend. It's the easiest thing. It's hard at first. You may just like have to push yourself a little, but it's amazing how you can collect phone numbers. And then what I do is I do texts and I put people in different groups. I have people that are interested in college and people that are interested in the business, people that are interested in Protandim, and I'll send different things out. And it just keeps your name in front of people. We're marketing it, and I'll end with a story. I was just up in New York with my mom, and we have made a tradition for years now. There is this little store in Mount Sinai. It's a Christmas store, and I usually go there and I buy, some Christmas ornaments and some Christmas stuff every year. And, it's been our thing for years. And the lady we were talking to, she's thinking she may have to close the store. I came home and told Bobby because she's losing $1,000 a day. Well, I said, do you have an email list? And she said, no. I said, well, are you on Facebook? And she said, yes, I'm on Facebook. So when I got home, we initially couldn't find her on Facebook. And then I happened to have the receipt from some stuff I bought, and the name was different than the name she gave me. So I finally found her page, not a group, a page that didn't even have a follow. And it's just, there's so much that she could do. And she's complaining that she's not getting enough business, but she's not helping herself. She's not keeping her name out there. How are people supposed to know this little store is there? And it's really not on a main path either. It's a very quaint area. It's off the hidden path. But that's no different than us. You want everybody, and you've heard Bobby and I say this before, you want everybody to say they have a question about a supplement or a wellness product, and you want them to say, Bobby, he knows all about wellness products. Let me ask him. That's where you want to get in this business. You want people to say, oh yeah, the Wagners, they're in that business. They're into vitamins. They sell pills. I don't care what they say, but I want my name to come up first as far as anybody that's thinking about a nutritional product, a supplement, has an issue, has a question. Am I qualified to answer all? No, I'm not a doctor. I'm not anything, but I want them to ask me, because if I have something that can help them, I want to be able to share that with them. But if you don't have your name out there to where all your friends and family know what you do, people you come in contact with, and you can figure out what you're most comfortable with. If it's distribution of wellness products, fine. You could let them know that it's, category creating this. It's a little sciencey. I always say it's a little sciencey. So I want to send you the video to make it easy for you to understand. I don't want to explain the whole ABC video. I mean, it's just oxidative stress is really hard for people to understand. And really all they want is the benefits. But if we go through all the benefits on that video and we talk about cancer, Alzheimer's, arthritis, anxiety, people like one pill doesn't work on everything. So there's so much value in being able to share a video, but you got to get to that point if you don't ask for their phone number, if you don't keep your name in front of people. And that is really what our business is all about. We're networking. So we want to meet as many new people as we can, keep the old ones in front of us, and you will see that your business will grow that much faster, because when you're really not working, people will text you or DM you and ask for a link. And that's how your business grows. So I hope that was a little helpful. I'm going to just stop the share and then let Bobby jump back in here.
I
can
got a
find
couple
it.
things I want to add, April, and then Debbie Riggs has a question. You can look and get ready to answer that when I finish up.
Okay.
We're not ignoring you, Debbie. She'll get to that. So couple other things. The Carrie and Tara opportunity thing that's been going on for a few weeks, it's really turned into a training ground because there's not very many guests on. There's never really very many guests on. Everybody on is generally already in the business. But sometimes, and it happened the other night with Tara, Tara just decided to go into a training after her presentation. And I'm telling you, she was just unfreaking believable. I mean, unbelievable. First of all, Tara is unbelievable. Okay. She's one of the very special people, but you know, we had a chance to spend a week with her in Europe. It was like, it was a super treat to be able to do that, touring Europe with her. But, it's a training ground. And Fred said this, before, if you can't do what you're seeing people do, then you need to practice, because what they're doing is, imagine it's a one-on-one presentation sitting across from somebody at Starbucks having coffee. Okay. And if you happen to miss, there's a lady, I don't know her. It was the best presentation I've ever seen in 22 minutes. Best ever. I don't know her last name, but her first name is Isa, I-S-A. She went last week, and you can go to the recordings, okay? She did the best job I have ever seen, especially if you tie in 22 minutes. I mean, she was just spectacular. She hit all the boxes. She was likable. She was professional. She was to the point. She didn't make not ridiculous. She didn't say things that weren't necessary. Everything she said had value, okay? And it had a point, and everything she said was moving people further down the line, okay? And getting them closer to making a decision. And it all got done in 22 minutes. I know she lives in Arizona. I know she's connected to Maria Harrelson and, you know, the Carrie Dickey's line. But I'm telling you, watch that one. Okay, go to the
Bobby,
replay. Her first name is Isa. She went last week, so you should be able to find it. It's
Bobby,
she was just spectacular.
they're all in the Activated Life on YouTube. So if you go to YouTube and you put in the Activated Life, all of the
Presentations
Zooms
come
come
up.
up. Yeah, all the presentations come up, and you can scan. If you can't be on the times, I understand the times, but if you want to listen to replays while you're driving, while you're running, whatever you might be doing, but yeah, you can find hers there as well.
Two other things I want to bring up, because I don't, you know, I know not everybody's as plugged in as other people. I want you to know that somebody joined the business, and last month, and they're a TikTok person, okay? I am not a TikTok person. I even deleted the app from my phone, okay? I am not a TikTok person, but this person enrolled 317 customers last month. She made over $20,000 last month. It's an influencer. It was somebody with a very big following, but you know, it makes me smile, because there are so many things out there that are possible. Okay. There's just so many possibilities. And the thing that got her, it was a one-liner, and the people that got her in have not been very visible for the last 5 years. Okay, since before COVID, last 4 years, they haven't been very visible, but it was somebody that they stayed in touch with. Is mind-boggling. And here's what got her. She can have the same commission every month over and over again. It doesn't change. In other words, that diamond commission we're talking about, the gemstone diamond, she can get the same commission every month when their orders go out. and whatever she was selling before, it wasn't like that. Okay, so she just started. So, and again, you're not going to get any details on this person because nobody's going to give any details on this person. Okay, I'm just telling you that there are big people out there. When they find out they can get a 20 or 30% commission every month, the order goes out without it fluctuating. They get really excited about stuff. Okay, so that, and then the other thing I want to mention, and I think Yadira is on here, but she was arranging for me to do a three-way call with somebody on Friday, and I got very impressed because we were arranging a time to do it, and then the person just called me himself. Just called me, and I'm like, and I don't know how many times that happens to you or doesn't, but just called me to talk to me and forget, like, don't worry about the three-way, let's just talk. And we had a great conversation about a lot of different things, just found a lot of common denominators. And he ended up doing a business pack today, okay, and came into business today. And what I want you to understand, there's two different groups of people right now out there during December. There's a lot of people that are as busy as heck because they're in retail, and there's a lot of people that are getting ready for family and shopping and doing all that stuff. But there's just as many people out there now where December in their business or their job is very slow, and they're just hanging out, and they're like looking for something to do. They're looking for stuff to buy. They're looking for something to do. They got time to investigate things. A lot of the pickleball people that I play with during the week, they're involved with a type of jobs and businesses where, one's like a headhunter. Well, everybody's been placed for this year. There isn't any more heads to place. Okay, this year's closed out, and she'll start up again in January. So she's got like the whole month to just kind of like play around, and do stuff. And there's a lot of people that are in different positions where, they have time. So don't prejudge people, and don't hesitate to reach out again, to people that may have been busier earlier in the year. Okay, reach out to them again because, there's, like I said, this is a very busy time of year for some people, and it's a very slow time of year for others, depending on what they do for a living. And the people where it slows down, they now have time to look at something. They got time to watch that video that they didn't watch 6 months ago. They got time to read up on that thing. So just keep that in mind, because I've seen it a lot in the last couple of weeks. And it seems like, and it's, this group that I've been playing with, they all went to high school together. They're all in their 40s now, and they seem to work. They're all in different fields, but they seem to kind of work in similar fields where, now they're inviting us, you got John McEnroe, Agassi, Steffi Graf, and Sharapova playing, former, retired tennis players playing for $1 million in pickleball down in Miami. And they got us going down to the Hard Rock for a weekend with them. So it's gone from playing pickleball to let's go away for the weekend, watch the old timers play pickleball for $1 million, and we can gamble and goof around and do whatever. So what's happening is we're getting to meet more and more of those people that are coming from the one couple that joined. They're stretching their network out to us now. And isn't that what we want to happen when we meet someone? They get you into their warm market. And that's a good sign that your relationship is good, because they're opening it up to their real friends and family. Okay, so, but keep in mind, this should be your biggest volume month of the year, December. And I don't know if the company's doing anything this week with a promo or not, but I know they're not done for the month. Okay, so, they always try and stay away from the subscription days. So that kind of leaves the end of the month open for a 5-6 day run, at the end of the month. But I have a feeling we're going to hear something from them, this week. And but April, can you address Deb's question, and then we'll call it a night?
And Fred put the link for the YouTube
Oh,
in
thanks,
the
Fred.
chat. So if you want to go ahead and pull
We'll
that
be
too,
cheering
Jess.
you on Tuesday, Fred.
Yeah, and so Debbie said, so, I had mentioned groups. So what I do with text groups is I'll have a group that maybe I'm speak to about opportunity. So the last thing I can do is talk to somebody that's interested in the business solely about collagen. You know, I can say that collagen was slated to do 12 million and it did 38 million in a year, but I can't just sell them on before and after pictures. So collagen people will generally be in one group, people that more interested in health for tandem in another group, and business opportunity in another group. So I just kind of separate my people because it's not the same message to them, but there could be a whole bunch of people in that group. So that's how I split up my texting. So, and emailing too. So just, you know, talking different ways to different people.
You don't want to get one-dimensional in a multi-dimensional group where you're trying to answer one, but then you're turning the others off. You know, so, you know, it was funny. I was talking to you about the guy that came in on the business pack today with Yadira. And Yadira, I'm not even sure I'm saying her name right, but I just met her 2 weeks ago in Chicago at Catalina's meeting. But what was really interesting to show you how fast something can move along, based on a conversation we had Friday, and then we probably talked for an hour today. He's going to be in Florida about a half hour from where I live for 2.5 weeks in January, just playing golf and doing things. We've already decided we're getting together while he's down here. And then I told him about Nashville in March, and he says, is that something I should go to? I said, well, only if you want to build the business. And he says, well, I do want to build the business. I said, well, then you want to be in Nashville in March. And I said, a matter of fact, you got a free ticket in your business pack that you just ordered. There's a ticket to attend, so you just have to take care of getting there in whatever hotel you want to stay at. But, you know, this is someone I never met before that called me because somebody, you know, was trying to arrange a three-way call. And all of a sudden you start a relationship, folks. That's what's got to happen in the business, especially if you, like April said, if you meet them socially, like the pastor introducing us to people in the lobby today, or the people we met at the party last night. You got to get even the pickleball stuff. It took 2 or 3 months for this couple to say, I want to buy that stuff. Okay. And then a week later, it's, I want to sell that stuff. Okay, but 3 months of playing pickleball before that happened. So we were friends first, and then the rest happened. So don't, you know, what's the best way to do this? Make a lot of friends. Okay, and then they'll start relationships, get into relationships with people, and be real. Okay, and find out what they like and let them know what you like, and find some common denominators, folks. It makes the business so much more fun. Okay, you know, this gentleman, his name's Julian, the one that joined today. So then I hit him with this one. I said, you don't happen to be on Facebook, do you? And he says, nah, I really don't want people kind of knowing what I'm doing. I said, well, would you do me a favor? He said, what? I said, would you open an account? You don't have to post your dinner or drinks or whatever your personal life is, but I'd like you to be able to check in on what the company posts, because they use Facebook a lot. And he says, oh, okay, I have no problem with that. It just, you know, things get smooth when people like you. Oh, and Fred, thanks for posting Ice's link. That's great. But she has tremendous likability, tremendous believability, tremendous credibility. Those are the 3 check marks, okay? And she did it in 22 minutes. If you want to practice something, practice hers. Okay, I'm telling you, that's the one. It's as good as I've ever seen. So anyway, let's open it up if you got anything else you want to add or share. And since we're not going to see you next week, okay, we're taking the week off, other than if the company springs something on us. You folks got anything you want to add or share, or thoughts or questions, whatever? Unmute yourself if you want to talk. Are we good? Are we all going to support Fred? Say yes, thumbs up for Fred, okay? We want to
Yeah.
see lots of people on there. And then when we're on there, we want to be making nice comments in the chat, okay? So we got you covered, Fred.
Well, thanks so much, Bobby. That was an awesome plug. But yeah, you're right about people being on there if you don't got a guest or watching recordings, because you're always picking up things about how to present.
Yep.
Brandon Cunningham's was awesome, and then yeah, you see some that have been really sciencey too, right? And so that would go to certain people, but not like what you've said, right? To what to avoid and keep it simple and duplicatable and that. But it's an honor to be asked to do that, and so I'm excited, a little bit nervous. I do presentations all the time, but to do it on that stage, so it's going to be fun. So
You
thanks
got a
for your
lot of
support.
talented people watching you, buddy.
I know.
But here, honestly, folks, watch it this week. Watch some of the ones on YouTube that April mentioned. If you can't do it, you need to watch more. And if you're not comfortable doing it, you got to start practicing. And that presentation is ideal for one-on-ones. That is what
Absolutely.
you should be doing one-on-one with people. So either it'll teach you how to do it, it'll help refine you. Okay. I learned a lot from it. I know April did too. I'm like, I love picking up little bits and pieces from people. We're all our own personality. That never changes. Okay. But you want to stay on schedule. Like Fred knows, we've talked a million times. It's 25 minutes is the target. A few minutes over, a few minutes under is okay. But, one of the ladies the other night went 40 minutes. Well, she was very talented. She was very informative, but that's no good. What we know now about Zoom is if you got guests and you got, like we're doing a training here and you're all here and nobody's hung up and we're talking for 40, 50 minutes now. When you're doing something for cold market or there's going to be guests, the length of a Zoom now is 20 to 25 minutes max. That's what the professionals say. So we're trying to stay with, that's the attention span you got with a new person, okay, on a new Zoom. So anyway, it's great, but it's a great training ground. If you're not happy with your one-on-one results, start practicing these presentations. It'll get you good quick.
Merry Christmas.
I just want to say also,
Merry Christmas to you too,
strong.
and Happy
Merry
New Year to all of
Christmas.
you. It's been a great year. I can't wait to show you what went on in our business this year. And I want you to start competing to be better than the company's growth. Okay, if the company grows by 3%, you should want to grow by at least 6. If the company grows by 5, you should want to grow by at least 10. You don't want to be growing less than, we all have our own business within the company, but the whole thing added up, they grew at 3%. So now we can measure if we're growing faster or slower than the company. And I love the fact that we have an opportunity to do that. And that tells us if we have to do more or less or change. That's how we know if we have to change. So anyone else? Well,
Thank
we
you.
appreciate it. It's been a great year, folks. And we appreciate the time you give on Sunday nights and the participation. And, I know this has benefited our business because like I said, we're about 7 times more than the company growth right now. Like 7 times better. We're in the 20s%. So we are very happy with what's going on. And that number could grow higher because the month is going so well. Okay. And so we want that for everybody. And these Sunday nights have been a part of it. Fred, you bringing your team in has been a part of it. The Facebook groups have been a part of it. The monthly launches have been a part of it. It's all been a part of it.
Right.
And we're just going to look to do it better next year. So anyway, Merry Christmas, everybody. And if we don't talk to you before, I have a feeling we will, but just in case we don't, Happy New Year. And we will do a meeting. If we don't connect after Christmas, either New Year's Eve or the day after, the Tuesday or something, one of those nights we'll catch back up. So good night, everybody. Bye-bye.
Good night.
Nice.
Good
Nice.